Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos, and today we're going to make a gnome pillow out of a placemat from the Dollar Tree. So I grabbed one of the white placemats from the Dollar Tree, some of the faux fur from Hobby Lobby, a pair of the fuzzy socks from Dollar Tree, some pom-poms that I had on hand, and some button plugs. They're just wooden little plugs that go in furniture, and you'll need some sort of razor blade or a box cutter knife. The first thing I did was pull the socks apart, and I cut down the edge so that I could get into them correctly to cut my first hat. So I'm just cutting a triangle. I'm not worried about being perfect or anything. I kind of wanted it to be whimsical, so I did cut it just by, eyeing it. And that one looked good to me, so I took another piece of the sock and laid that on it and then cut it out from there. So I kind of made a pattern with the first one. Like I said, I am not doing this to be perfect. I don't care if it's an exact triangle or not. And now I'm going to cut out a third one. So I'm just going to lay that another one on there and cut out another one. So now I have 3 little triangle shaped hats, all from one sock. So you could actually do more than one project with these socks because you only need one. And I don't have an exact size for the hats either. I just kind of made them roughly the size that I wanted them for 3 of them to fit on the pillow with the beards. Now I'm going to lay one of the hats onto the fur and cut along. I wanted it to be as wide as the hat, and then I triangled down. Now when you cut the fur, you only want to cut the backing. That's why I'm not using a pair of scissors. That's why you just cut the backing of it, because if not, then the fur just kind of falls away around and gets cut off. So there's one beard, and then I'm going to continue and make 3 of those, all lined up to the same size as the hat. And as you can see, I'm just scoring the back of the fur. And if you've never worked with this fur, it is so messy. But it makes cute little gnomes, so it's worth it. Just make sure you have a vacuum on hand. Okay, now I have the 3 little beards, and I have the 3 little hats. And these socks are kind of slouchy, so you can kind of position the hats once you're ready to glue them on to, be more even or straight. And if you really want to get technical, you can draw out a pattern and do it really neatly. I'm just kind of giving you the idea of how to do it. You can kind of take it and run with it. So I'm going to separate the hats into 3 different spots and the beards with them, and then I'm going to glue the hats on. And I just ran a bead of glue around the outside of the triangle, and I left the bottom open, so I didn't glue that down right away. I glued that, and then I'm going to flip it up, and I'm going to put the fur underneath the hat, and then I'm going to glue it down. So I'm going to add some glue to the fur, and then I'm going to glue the hat over the fur. And I'm going to repeat that for all 3. And then I just kind of added some glue to the beard so that it wouldn't flop around. And like I said, these are kind of slouchy, so you can stretch them and move them whichever direction you want. If you need a little more on one side, pull it over, that type of thing. And there's your second one. I'm going to do the same thing. I didn't glue the bottom. I'm going to glue the back of the beard, just the top, just to get it set where I needed it to. Then I'll glue the hat onto that, and then glue the beard the rest of the way onto the pillow. And this is the final one. Again, glue the hat over the beard, and then the beard to the pillow. Then I'm going to take the little button plugs. They're just wooden little knobs. You could use a little wooden bead if you wanted to. And I'm just going to glue it a little under the hat, but onto the beard. You could even use a peach pom-pom if you wanted to. I could only find really bright pink ones at Hobby Lobby, so I didn't even bother. I just figured I would use these. I'm not going to use the pillow to lay on. It's just for decoration. So once I got all the noses on, then I took the pom-poms that I had and I just glued a pom-pom to the top of each one of the hats. Now these could be gnomes or these could even be Santas. They kind of look like both. But I think it's super cute. And I saw a pillow, something like this, in some magazine. So I figured I would try it out and see if I could make something similar out of Dollar Tree products. And I think I successfully did that. So now I'm cutting the side of the placemat open so that I can stuff it with Fiberfill. So I just put a slit like we had done in the other placemat pillow videos. And I just put a slit in the side of it and just started filling it with Fiberfill until I got the amount of Fiberfill that I wanted so that the pillow was puffy enough. And I love the way this project turned out. It's super cute, and for only a couple of dollars, the pillow that I saw online was like $40. I mean, granted, it's not as perfect, but I made this one myself, and it makes me feel good when I can recreate something that I saw that I really couldn't afford, especially a $50 pillow. And you can pick out, any color sock that you want. You could even use flannel. You could just use fabric. This is just kind of a general idea, and if you want it to be more perfect, you could definitely use a pattern. Just print out a triangle shape on your computer or even draw out a triangle and use that. So now that I have the pillow all stuffed, I'm just going to take my glue gun and glue it shut. And I just followed along the seam that I had just cut open, put a bunch of glue in there, and then I pulled on either side to close it, and then once it cooled, then I touched it with my fingers to push it the rest of the way closed. I didn't want to burn myself. If you need to add a little bit of touch-up glue in there to make sure that it's fully sealed. And then voila, you have a cute little Dollar Tree gnome pillow. I super love this project. I hope you guys will too. I hope that I inspired you to make one. And please don't forget to sprinkle, and thank you for watching.